The Tasty Freeze, located in Montezuma, Indiana. We offer over 32 soft-serve flavors of creamy, delicious ice cream, hand-breaded pork tenderloin, famous homemade pony sauce, and don't forget our roasted chicken.
Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again.
Open Tuesday through Sunday, 10:30 to 9:30. To place an order, call 765-245-2887. We appreciate your business.
Thank you everybody for being here. We'll go ahead and get started. We'll be reading the minutes from last.
Alright, so our meeting was March 11th, 2024. Our meeting started at 7:09 p.m. Tom, Abby, and Caitlin were present. I read the January minutes as well as the February minutes, and the minutes were approved. Of old business, we have received a letter from the Mecca Consolidated Community Association leader terminating the lease agreement for the schoolhouse. That was sent out to the board to read. All the payroll stuff had been taken care of, and the taxes had been paid to the state. In new business, the park needed lights and basketball nets. Michael Griffin spoke about the issues he saw in town. Tom was going to look into a legal pathway for a code enforcement officer so that we can build a set of codes to hold people accountable. We talked about contacting the health department and maybe they can assist with trash issues and the public health department, sheriff's office for needles. We talked about a cleanup day, and at the next meeting we will set up the date for potholes. We talked about a patronicity grant for the school, as well as the new opioid fund where the money can be used for anything but having used by the end of the year. We suggested that that may be used to augment the public safety fund. We talked about an ordinance to increase to the correct number of board members, and the Women's Auxiliary was holding a father-daughter dance, and it went well. We hadn't had any word on what was going on for Easter at that time. Mike said he was setting up a fish fry, and that the park, he went to the park and emptied trash and made repairs. And we talked about lighting options for the park for security, and then Caitlin motioned to close, Abby seconded, and we closed at 8:15 p.m.
Okay. Everybody heard the reading of the minutes for last month. There's no additions or corrections that we approved as read? Approved. All right. Let's go to old business.
Park lights, basketball nets.
Yeah. But basketball nets were...
I had just made some repairs to the north net. The other one was good because I'd done it 2 weeks before, so they were. I was telling Tom, they're not, the chains aren't welded, they're just crimped, so it doesn't take a lot for them a strand or two to separate. Normally, whenever I go up there and cut the weeds, I just take the ladder out and go up there and crimp them back. But if somebody's walking by and sees it, only once since we've had the park has the net been actually pulled most of the way down. Most of the time it's just a strand or two that's loose, and it takes 5 seconds to climb up there. It takes longer to put the ladder in and go up there, get up there, and it doesn't fix it. But they're good. At least it was 2 weeks ago. So it'll be an ongoing thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a quick fix.
Before we assessed, we went ahead and ordered some basketball nets replacements. We'll have those on standby because Mike, the owner of Ace in Rockville, donated those to the park. So we've got them in reserve if we ever need them.
I am your new park board president. So I am here to let you know that the park board has had a meeting. We now have new officers. I have looked up the IC code for the park board and what we are required to do as well as what the town's required to do. According to state statute, we are to have 4 members that are appointed by you, which we do have. We can also have a secretary outside of those 4 members, which we do have. Shirley is the vice president, Brad is the secretary, Lori is on the board, and Hallie is also on the board. We have discussed the lights, and we have met with Ali Electric to put security light, to put outlets and stuff in the little pavilion thing. We will have lights that will go off at night on the basketball goal. He has made some phone calls. We have the lights, the poles donated. Ali's going to donate all their time and come up on a Saturday and do it. So that's taken care of.
They're gonna do it all for free.
Yeah.
You got
So there-
security light from RMC, you got poles from Duke. He said his guys would come down on Saturday, volunteer time, and,
Are they gonna set some type of meter base
yep,
there?
have 200 meter base, and he's gonna bore underneath all of it and put outlets in the pavilion, and it'll be able to be locked, and
So is that gonna be set up as a park account or on the town account?
well, there should be
there's
It
a
doesn't
park-
matter to me, but that part, once you set it up, they'll have to give some.
There has been established a park and rec fund. You do have that in your budget. Last year, at the end of the year, there was over $12,000. I'm assuming you'll get another settlement in May, which will also go in that,
And where would you see that come from?
in your budget, which is on the gateway. Now, according to state statute, once you establish a park board, they are in control of your park. So anything that comes through you should go to the park board, and not that
but they gotta be the ones that
we're
approve.
wanting anything, we're not gonna fight with the town board over this. It's just the way that it's set up. And I've printed a copy of that stuff for you, Tom, so you'll have that, and you can look at it and see it. We are required to make the rules for the park. We are required to take care of the park. We're also having, we've got some estimates for fencing we're gonna put up there. We've got a little bit of a problem with four-wheelers going by now, and we need a fence over there so the balls don't roll over the thing. So once you've established this park board, then they are the ones that need to make the decisions on what happens up there.
Yeah, that's great, because
And that's great,
you
right.
guys have been absent for more than a year.
Right. Well, and I don't know about that.
Last time they were showing was the president, I never.
No, you guys were there when he resigned. It was over a
I
year
know.
ago.
Well, that's in
You
the
were there when he
past.
resigned.
Yeah, that's not a big deal.
We are
That was
required
me.
to meet quarterly. We are also required to give you an annual report at the end of the year on what happens, and we're also required to give you a budget at the end of the year, and we will start doing that. I will be covering your town council meetings, so there will be a representative of the park board here if we need to discuss anything. So, and I assume, as far as the establishment of the board, there's to be 4 members, and they're to be divided politically even. However, the town can waiver all that if you don't have people in your community, which we don't, who want to step up and help.
Yeah,
So-
we've kept all of our, this has always been apolitical. Okay, nobody here has any declared political affiliation. We'd like to keep it that way.
Right, right.
You know,
So if you would establish an ordinance waiving all that, then that might be in your benefit. Because when it comes to grants, and everything has to be perfect. I mean, it all has to be established, your park and rec fund, the park board, all that stuff. I'm assuming that liability insurance covers the park, your town liability insurance?
it would have to, yeah.
Yeah, it's your park, so I would assume you'd have to. Also, as far as the lighting, I would assume, and I don't know that, I'm gonna check into that, that the bills would go to the town for like all the rest of your lighting. If not, I mean, it can certainly come out of the park budget if that's the way it's supposed to be. But I'll have to check into that and see if the park and rec fund can be used for that. I'm not sure about that yet. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that we have met. We are on top of everything, and we will, once we get everything straightened up there, we intend to move to the ball island. And so we'll keep you informed of what's going on, and like I said,
You know,
okay.
like we got one, well, Zach Clark's wife reached out to us about renting she wanted to know if there was a way to rent the pavilion for like her daughter's graduation party. So we told them that they would just donate, whatever. you know.
Yeah.
So basically that money comes to you guys, and then we
Yeah, we'll go into the.
Yeah, there'll be a
park board.
separate county.
Do they make a check out to the park board, or they make it out to the town of Mecca, or what? If
Probably
they do,
town of Mecca and then
Yeah.
memo,
I'd say
park
the
board.
town of Mecca.
okay.
How are you going to, like, what's to say that somebody else isn't going to, and I'm just saying this from experience at like the park, the Rockville Park. So like if Amanda's gonna rent it on, say, May 12th, what's to say that like Austin's not gonna have his kid's birthday party up there on May 12th too?
Because they need to contact somebody on the park board.
So
And
that's
we're
what-
gonna put that on the town of Mecca page.
We set up a park board page also, and we could also assign like we do with the other parks where you can write in what the dates are that people have.
That's what I was gonna suggest, is that
I
as
guess
part of signage.
is that just for the event, or you saying shutting the whole park
No,
down? Well, it's not a monstrous park, so
No.
No,
bring it out.
it'd just be a pavilion.
Okay.
It's like turn the plugins on if they want to put
So
something on.
they do it at Raccoon like they do it at Turkey
Yeah,
Mountain.
yeah.
The biggest issue we got
Reserve.
is the driving through there, and,
I will set one up in the trash.
And we appreciate everything you've done.
yeah, thanks, Mike.
Yeah, so you guys and Mary talked about this, is Mike still gonna take care of the mowing?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if he wants to, or whoever can, doesn't matter.
I just.
We're gonna try to.
You don't really want to, do you?
He's gonna-
He enjoys it.
I mow it in the firehouse same time.
Well,
What the deal is, I go for every 2 weeks unless it's a holiday, right? And then I'll switch it. That's all, I just go for every 2 weeks. It usually keeps it, and I'll spray the driveway down, weed eat, mow, empty the trash, and then fix the goals if they're pulled down.
Mhm.
That's usually what, what it
And I asked Ali about the electric, if he could put lights on the back side of that pole too, to shine towards the playground equipment, instead of just being on the court at night, and, yeah, he said he was gonna take care of all of it. Said they said Duke was gonna put some real nice poles in there, and said he was gonna take care of the meter base, and said he had a boring machine, and they bore all underneath everything, and said, yeah, they'd take care of all of it, so.
And we've already, the foundation, community foundation's aware that we're gonna be asking them for a grant for fencing.
Excellent.
They're all for it.
The problem with the fencing companies was, I asked them if they use like Google Maps or something. They basically, it's wherever you tell them to put it. And
There were
I pulled
certain
it up on
stakes.
my phone, and they've pulled the stake since then.
Yeah.
Because Joe got mad and pulled the stake, I think. Because it actually cuts at an angle in there, and it goes,
Yeah, it follows at an angle at the bottom of that hill.
it goes pretty deep into his yard over there, so.
Yeah. Because there's an iron pin. They found an iron pin.
Well, I told that guy to fix it, I said, as long as it just cuts off that backside where the balls can't roll down over the hill and the tracks, and, yeah, I don't think it's really necessary to. And he was not even gonna go through the woods, he was gonna angle it, and then once he got to a certain point, he was gonna stop, and then cut that drive off with fence, and then go on the other side and go all the way to the drive.
Yeah.
That's what he was gonna do. 2 people came to give quotes, they were both about the same. They were literally a couple $100 off, I think.
Somewhere,
It was pretty pricey.
I don't know if you have them, if I have them, but somewhere we've got, because the original plans for the park mapped out where
I
the fence.
remember, yeah.
Okay, because there was going to be, originally, there was going to be a perimeter security fence around it. But again, all our estimates were pre-COVID,
I
and
remember.
then
Yeah,
everything was
right
built.
up money a little bit.
Yeah, everything went through the roof, and we ended up being 60,000 over.
And we meet again, we're gonna, a guy that grew up here in town, he played baseball and stuff up there, but he's under retired, and he kinda wants to help get the ball diamond up and going. Richie over he's offered to kinda head that up, and so we're gonna try to have a cleanup day, and we'll post it on our page, and just.
Now, I had a guy that I know go in there and shore up that back fence
Yeah,
up there.
it
But-
needs, all the bleacher boards they replaced, and but at one time, that was a pretty happy place, when we were kids.
See, that's why I wanted you guys to spear point
Yeah.
doing that, because you remember what that, I don't, okay? But you remember what that baseball diamond used to be.
Yeah, it was a happening place back in the day.
And that's the goal, Is that,
Well, we've talked to Annie in Montezuma, she said that she would be willing to schedule games up there for us. You know, to schedule some down there just to give us some games. I don't think we have enough kids in town to have a team anymore. But, and I talked to our AD about possibly doing like a throwback game up there with our softball girls or high school girls. I thought it'd be cool to get some Mecca jerseys or something made up, and you know, they could, the Rockville turkey run people could fight over if it was going to be a Rockville turkey run and play. Your turkey run games, Jason?
Huh?
Your turkey run games?
No.
Yeah, you're playing, never mind.
It's
That's a whole
not
different, yeah, that's a whole different deal. We won't hold that issue. But anyway, yeah.
Anyway, that's what we're up to.
okay,
And we will be at every meeting.
excellent, excellent, I look forward to it.
The other, you said that was there, you guys had allotted money at one time for signage.
Yeah, it was $1,500.
Okay. Well, I was just, I know like a lot of parks have, you know, spots for signs with like rules or, I don't know, legally what you have to have insurance wise, you should have signs.
Yeah, it's
stating certain things.
we talked about something about, that, you know, play at your own risk or enter at your own risk.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you go to a pool that says lifeguard not on duty, swim at your own risk, etc. And then, we were at the time talking about that the park closes at 8, or closes at dusk, that the park hours are dawn to dusk. And
I'm not sure what the one was in this. I think it's like 10 or 11 or something in the
Yeah.
summer.
But something like that to establish, you know, hours of operation, for lack of a better word, all right? That way, you know, you don't have, you know, people carrying on at 2 a.m. and, you know, he's getting phone calls.
Well, we'll make sure that, you know, when he gets that meter base and all of that, everybody's got keys to the, because we'll have to keep that locked.
Oh, yeah.
To make sure, so we'll make sure everybody's got, you know, you guys all got keys and stuff as well if you need to get in there and, yeah. But he said he was gonna take care of all the electric stuff for free, so I thought it was pretty good.
That's generous of him.
Yeah.
That's excellent. I'll personally thank him when I see him next year. I see him several times a week, so.
Yeah, he said they'd give us some real nice poles, and, you know, when I'm in RMC, they give us a light, so, yep.
That's good.
You got anything else? You got anything else?
Any plans for potential fundraisers? I know back, probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, you were talking about
We
schedule like a 3-on-3 basketball tournament and
Yeah.
things like that for,
I would like to, I know these guys, the auxiliary always does stuff for like our holidays and stuff, and, you know, we had that Christmas parade and all that the one year, and, you know, it'd be nice to incorporate that park on certain holidays, and
yeah.
one thing I talked to, like, my football kids, talked about maybe going out to the Amish and buying like a bunch of them pumpkins, like a game board of them, and then doing something with like, bring those kids in, have little kids come in, and they do like pumpkin patches, and kids pick a pumpkin, and, you know, just something to get them out there and get them using it. So, you know, we've talked about different things, but, it would be nice to incorporate those high school kids and,
Yeah.
you know, they're role models for those younger guys, so you guys talked about doing something at Christmas or something as well, didn't you?
I think our next thing that we talked about doing is like getting back to school. We used to do kind of like a carnival. We used to actually do it up on the street. We'd close down the street and we'd set up games, and the kids won back to school prizes like pencils, backpacks, notebooks. So
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to try to throw one of those together this year. I think we did we do haircuts the one year?
Yeah, Zach's
So
like,
yeah,
haircuts for
we'll do
free.
haircuts for us, and so I think that's going to be our next thing that we try to plan up there.
Okay.
It'd be nice to do something with 4th of July, but under insurance and that stuff's pretty crazy. Yeah. Years ago, when my mom was younger, they always talked about the ball night we always had. Yeah. Well, she said they done stuff up there, didn't they? And they have like, it's stuff in the.
I don't know, I can't remember, I'm so old.
Well, then
Yeah, they have
like
fires, they have-
and all that
yeah.
stuff, and they have all kinds of stuff over there.
I've seen, what goes into municipal fireworks displays, we don't want to.
No, yeah. Well, there's a rate, Mom's in these, we do, so
Yeah.
it, yeah. But other than that, I think that was
Excellent.
everything.
I like the direction.
Do you guys meet here?
Mhm.
Okay. I saw your post and I did not make it go to the meeting, but I will try to make it to the meetings too.
And if you want, give me a call, give me a heads up a little bit ahead of when you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because I don't Facebook, so,
I can send you too.
okay, that would be good.
It's the 21st.
Or text me, because I don't,
21st.
social media is totally lost on me.
Our next meeting's the 21st at 6 o'clock.
21st, this month?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that was the
It's a
reason,
Sunday.
that was the reason I didn't have the Easter egg hunt up there at the ball diamonds, because the bleacher boards and stuff are all rotten, and somebody's gonna fall through something, and
I liked it here.
I feel like it worked out really, really
It was
well.
pretty
It was
good.
very nice.
As long as the church cooperates with Parke.
Yeah, and we called them ahead of time. and
You
they were
guys
good.
use Tessa's yard too, though, right?
You know, a little bit of it, yeah.
Yeah.
We had replacement boards up there for those bleachers and somebody stole them.
yeah, and it's gonna take a lot of work, but, yeah, I mean, we used to have slow pitch games up there, and, I mean, I think we can get some use out of it.
What was some, with volunteer labor, you get us some numbers as far as, once we get to that spot, get us some numbers for supplies.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of grants and stuff available too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that the community foundation is
Yeah.
eager to help out.
Yeah. Well, and, we'd like to definitely get that going, so we'll see what comes of it, but, he kind of talked like he might try to want to even maybe get a little more late this fall, so I don't know what kind of shape those lights and everything are in, but, yeah. Was our power still even up there? I didn't think there was.
No, it's been cut off for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah. But we can get it figured out.
yeah.
Okay. That was still old business. Any other old business? Yeah, go ahead.
Code enforcement, legal packet of code enforcement officer.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of examples that I can go through or that I have access to as far as municipal code. Code enforcement you don't want just one person, you want more like a committee. So I would be needing at least 3 volunteers to help spearhead this thing. But you look at some of these municipalities and their codes, even the ones for just keeping things neat, are pages. It's ridiculous.
My question would be, how long does it take to enforce that stuff? Because you can't even hardly evict somebody from a house now that they don't get a year to get out.
So the way this works is not so much as, it's warning, and then what I've seen examples of are daily fines. That range anywhere from $25 for a first offense to $100 a day for multiple offense, for repeating offenses. That's the penalties of it, all right? The codes themselves, we would have to find out what people want, all right? Well, I'm reading that, there's municipalities out there that want you to keep your grass
Yeah.
a certain height. That'd be silly for here. Okay, so we're not going to be able to go to any one place and just copy their code and adopt it as our own, which is what was suggested to me. But for this place, that's impossible, because it would be ridiculous. Okay, there's codes in there about you can't have a vehicle on your property that doesn't have legal license plates on. All right? I've been hit with that myself. Where I used to live, I pulled a car I was restoring out of the garage so I could work on my daughter's car, and it was freezing weather, and I got a ticket in my own driveway.
I think his biggest concern is the needles more than anything, that's what, I haven't been down that way, but that would be my concern. I mean, all the other stuff.
If there's needles in the street, who do you hit? Who do you tell? Who do you say? Okay? You call them.
Yeah.
That's that problem is there. You
Yeah,
find a gun laying out in the ditch, you call them. That's real simple.
They took care of it. so-
Okay? That's it.
They got some of them, I think.
What the big concern is accumulated trash. All right? Now we can write ordinances on that, but how do you address it? What's the ordinance say? All right? Is it a bag of garbage? Is it garbage that's not in an appropriate container? Is it trash that's scattered all over a field?
Well, I think if she shoved it in the branch like that, then, if that's what he's saying, I don't know if she.
She's moving anyway, or she has already moved.
So
We have a county ordinance I could email to you. It's a pretty fair ordinance.
yeah, I'd appreciate that.
Is it regarding
It doesn't
trash?
deal with grass or anything like that. It's just accumulated junk, and I can email it to you tomorrow.
I mean, we got
You're gonna find
down the street here, we got people operating an illegal dump site. It's
Yeah.
construction waste.
Yeah,
They're bringing in equipment and moving it.
we would cite them for that.
You would cite that.
No, I mean, if it was in the county.
You're not in
Okay.
the county, but you're in the town.
Yeah,
Right.
I think
That was.
I've lived here forever, and I've covered a lot of town council meetings, and they have these ordinances and stuff. They all the time end up in court, they're long battles, then once you get it declared where it has to be tore down, then it's up to you financially to tear that down. I think with these people, Mike's idea was a good one. Bring in a dumpster.
That was our.
Or was it their
Yeah,
idea? Somebody's idea.
We were
Bring in a
just-
dumpster and let guys help, the older people clean up some of their stuff.
It's not the little onesie-twosie stuff. It's the accumulated that we're,
Yeah, and
No,
like
out there.
Wendy, you're gonna have to cite them.
yeah. That's the major things, that's what we're looking at. I realize that there's a huge issue with enforcement in the first place,
Yeah,
but,
but getting them to do it's a whole,
yeah.
well, you can work just as many times.
And
It's always ends up in court.
the problem is that the letters don't go to the people living there. It goes to the property owner of record. Okay? So if that's the case, if it's going to the property owner of record, perhaps that will kind of nudge along the process.
Where's the town limits? I said, where's the town limits go for there?
Town limits?
Yeah, I mean, is it in the line right through there somewhere, right behind you?
It goes out past the ball.
Going north, the line ends after 2708, but then it goes to D Street, or whatever the furthest one down there is. So, yeah.
I just.
Yeah, the dump site's in town. Put it that way. That's in town. Okay?
Doesn't it stop at the ball diamond, or does it?
It doesn't even extend it.
Oh, it doesn't go to the ball
No.
diamond?
Ball Diamond is just property that we own. But it's not in, as far as I know from the plat, it's not within the city limits of Mecca. It's just we own it. Because it's not contiguous as far as going from one property to the next. Now, if we annexed a couple properties in between, then we could do that. That's actually up to the property owners involved.
Yeah.
So how could you get it to where, I guess, with his email, Jason, how they could get it to where they could just write a ticket for whatever, like that instance?
what's that?
You can't write it down.
Can they issue it like a?
Who's that?
Like a
Town
town?
council.
Be your town attorney. I guess you could ask him how to handle that part.
There's another issue.
Yeah, so don't necessarily say ordinances, just you write it for whatever you want.
Well, that's kind of why we were trying to get code enforcement officer so that he could do that. I do have some stuff written down. Now, I did talk to Natalie, who's the clerk treasurer at Rosedale, about who their town attorney is, and she said they do use somebody who has a lot of, like, I think Clinton City uses them, a lot of people use them. You know, this guy, and I did not write down who it is, but I don't know as far as what our budget could handle, what we would be able to afford as far as that gentleman would go. He seems to have a lot of municipalities though, on his plate, so he's smart about it. I just don't know what he would charge us. You know, as far as that goes.
They did. Now the police department handles it.
Someone in town that is most likely to show us.
What's that? Fire department.
Okay.
He didn't give me.
Yeah.
Okay.
She probably knows.
I'd be willing to,
Might give her a name of somebody who might be able to help as far as legal goes. A woman in town, do you know who he might have been referring to? I guess so.
He used to be from here.
Mary Pierce used to be,
Yeah.
but I don't think she does that anymore.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah, that's,
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
she
That's
didn't
the
stop
name.
at all.
because of
Yeah.
family reasons, she
Left.
left.
yeah. The county attorney is Nick Sauter, and then there's Scott Craig, who does Montezuma and
I wonder if that's who Natalie was talking
He
about.
does a lot
Scott
of
Craig.
towns.
He does do those though?
Does he do Rosedale?
Okay, Scott Craig.
But I have no idea what they charge.
And then Nick Sauter's for the
Yeah,
town.
Nick does Rockville too.
Now, Nick, I've met at a couple different functions.
My cousin works for him. I don't,
Maybe we'll move ahead with the roll-off, clean up some stuff first, and then see what's left, and see where we go from there.
So-
Things gonna start.
regarding the roll-offs, I spoke with, Big Mac was really the only one that I called, and Natalie, I did speak with Natalie too about it. I talked to a couple different people about how to run it because it can get out of control very easily, which we've talked about. So Big Mac was who I called, that's who I use. She did say they use Republic, and Republic's been pretty easy to deal with. However, so Republic will like drop it off on a Friday and pick it up on a Monday. Whereas Big Mac, she says sometimes, like especially she gave me Perrysville as an example, and she said that they would drop it off at like 8 o'clock and pick it up at 12 p.m. for them, so that it wouldn't have to sit overnight, so we wouldn't have those risks. She said that it would be $500 a dumping, and then if it's over 4 ton, it would be $95 a ton after that. She recommended, it was Carolyn who I spoke with at Big Mac, she recommended that we give them as much notice as possible and offer a couple dates, especially because springtime is popular for towns to do cleanup days. So if we gave her a couple different days, she could say, okay, this one would work better for us. She gave me examples as far as like in Perrysville. She said that they put the dumpster at this part of like at the end of the road where there's like sidewalk, and basically they open the back end of it, and then people will drive up and volunteers will get the trash from the vehicle and put it into the dumpster, and that will help avoid things like what we don't want in the dumpster. We can kind of help control that. Natalie did say that they say like we don't want your kitchen garbage. Like, that's not why we're doing town cleanup day, not for your kitchen garbage. It's more for things that are outside that we need to get rid of, or things that, to clean up the exterior of the town. Not that we might not need to exclude kitchen garbage, but, she said that's something that they make sure that they mention when they post it. So I said we would probably want 2, at least to start off with 2. And that if we needed to, if it was very popular, that maybe we needed to revisit it again in the fall and do another one in the fall, depending on how much traction we get.
You guys check with Aaron's nephew over there, I think he beats about everybody on prices.
I was trying.
Oh, does he have a trash business?
JCB,
I've got.
Oh, shoot. I didn't
yeah,
realize he did that.
He said,
yeah, for a
dumpster?
40 yard, it's 510, or 4 yard, 3 yard, 2 yards, 390.
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
I mean, send it to you, Caitlin.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yes, I didn't even realize that he would do that.
Yeah, so the Michael handicap that over here's been using one from him, I'm pretty sure.
That's funny because Tyler said, I don't know who they're using, but he must be pretty cheap for him to have that there all that time.
Yeah, I think he beats about everybody.
I did mention to Faith too about Faith, who is the Curtis and Faith are living at this house. I did mention to Faith about that we had a position open on the board. But you know, she's not here, so I don't know if she's declining or if she's still thinking about it. But
I sent that to you.
thank you. Okay. Okay, cool. That would be a good option too.
I like that we can, with Big Mac, I don't know if they can do the same thing, but the drop off and pick up on the same day. Because that's important. Because otherwise,
That's what happened that last time.
you'll see a car in it.
Yes.
We had to go up there and volunteer and load it all into them. You know, they just piled it all the way around and they dropped it.
Probably,
Paint, you
did you
name
put
it.
it up there on the side of the school, on the White Rock? where that
I
sand
thought about
is?
that.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna hurt nothing there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I'll call, I will call John and see about that. And while we're here discussing that, do we want to talk more about it? Do we want to go ahead and choose some dates that might work?
Are they talking, you know, Saturday or something like that?
Yeah, I would think a Saturday would be best, especially since, oh, I got it, cool. Especially since we're gonna need some volunteers, you know, to stay out there and to help out.
Are we wanting to go for something early in June? Would that give enough time for everybody involved
I
to?
feel like that would be fine, yes.
Everybody else school.
When does school let out?
May.
May?
Yeah,
So like June 8th?
Fairs in July and
yeah,
Saturday, June 8th?
okay, yeah, potential, you wanna give me one more date?
Well, if that's not good, let's go for the, 3 weeks later, the end of the month, June 29th.
Okay,
That way we bookend it.
okay,
And we'll see what everybody says. I can throw us a good number and we can go from there.
okay, all right, that'll be cool.
But they're both local companies, so that helps.
Yeah,
I like it.
yes, versus we're using the public and they're no longer. Yes, I like that too. Okay. That's my portion down.
Yeah, bring it on.
Oh, sorry. One other thing was, they talked about and we might want to do this too, but like bringing water bills so that we know that although, the town's not that big, we can kind of, we know, but bringing water bills to show that, hey, they live in the town of Mecca, they have a Mecca address. And then,
And then our license
yeah,
ID.
something like that. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead, potholes.
Potholes. Yes. We're talking about the 21st. April 21st.
April 21st?
Yeah.
What is that? What day
It's a
is that?
Saturday.
Saturday, you said?
Or it's a Sunday.
Sunday,
I'm sorry, It's a
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, because that's the same day as the park meeting. Potholes.
So,
You got time? It doesn't matter to me.
what did we do last time? Was it,
Last time I think we did it in the morning, but.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
did.
care.
it was early.
I think last time it was 9 or 10 in the morning.
Well, let's say 9 a.m. at the firehouse.
9 a.m. on the 21st.
Tell everybody to bring your favorite shovel.
I'll see you there, Tom.
It'll give me a couple more weeks to because that loader of mine has more grease zerks than any other machine I've ever seen in my life.
Do you already have patch?
No, we're gonna have to order something.
Okay.
But,
Are you gonna take care of that?
I will take care of it.
Okay.
And what we think of, last time we got,
Somebody's gonna do it.
last time was 7 tons.
There's still a fair amount back there. Like I said, that will work if somebody needs some fill or something like that in a
Yeah.
washout, but get some fresh stuff would be good. 5?
It's a civil issue.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't been all on the streets yet.
Five is a good start. I mean, 2 years ago, we went through 12.
That's true. But we still, I mean, if we only got 7, we got a few tons back there still,
Yeah,
right?
last time we got 7. But there wasn't that much to do, I think. Last year was
I
easy.
mean, I think we have more holes this year than we did last year.
Yeah, there's definitely
I
more
think
now.
so. If you want to go 7, again, that's up to you.
We'll go 7 ton.
All right.
And if it's not enough, then we'll order more and do it again. I mean, it's not a once and done thing anyway, we know that.
Right.
No. But the more the merrier.
So is that too, like weather permitting, like does it have to be dry to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
So weather permitting, if not, we'll do a rain date the following Sunday.
So, okay.
Okay, so if
28th.
not the 21st, then we'll do a rain date, the 28th.
Yeah, we post that one.
Yes, please.
Okay, sounds great.
And everybody that was looking forward to a way that they could volunteer to help out in Mecca, this is your opportunity.
We did have 2 crews last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ran 2 trucks anyhow, so
Mhm.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, so it worked out pretty good. And I already shanghaied a couple of the maintenance guys that come into ACE. I said, hey, if you're looking for a way to volunteer, come down and help us out. And they said they would, so
Come
we'll
to
see if
that.
that works out.
Good. Good.
The ordinance to increase the correct number of board members.
Yes, I have to write that.
Okay.
It'll be ready for next meeting. Right now, we need to fill the vacancy, and then but by then I'll have something. I was concentrating more on the other ordinances, and that I got so far in the weeds with that stuff. It's crazy.
I tried reading some of them, like Rockville towns and stuff, and I was like, they got pretty big. I don't understand all of it either.
And Rockville's is little compared to some of these. I mean, like I said, some of these ordinances that they've got out there as far as, code enforcement is just, I mean, reams of them, you've got books with this stuff. That's why I wanted to find out specifically what we needed. Now, standing trash, perfect, okay? And if it needs to be expanded beyond that in the future, we can. Now, there was plenty of examples of ways to word standing trash, and I'm looking forward to what you send me. Because we could use some,
Anything that's a health hazard to
yes.
people.
That was included in it as far as with the standing trash as the public health hazard.
Yes. Okay, she's got a little bit more.
Fish fry. Fish fry.
Saturday.
Saturday, 2 to 7.
The 13th?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Here at the firehouse.
Need desserts?
Yes.
Good so.
Probably gonna be good weather, I hope. That would be nice.
It's supposed to be really nice Saturday.
Yeah. I'll
It's
tell
fine
you.
though.
The four people say Saturday's gonna be nice, so.
Okay.
All right, you're done.
Bye.
Okay. New business. Okay, good. Yes.
It's not one thing, and it's, I don't even know if it can be done, but, I know later on, you guys eventually have to to do something with the school. Correct? I mean, I know that's something you're dreading, but, is there any of that floor in there that's salvageable at all on that gym? Do you think?
Probably not.
My thought was if it was, I would be glad to purchase some of it, because that addition that I built down at the bar, I would love to put that in that room.
Well, as far as being repurposed,
Yeah. We don't have any aware that there's still people that do come back for homecoming, and, you know, the history of the town means a lot to me, so just being able to have that floor somewhere where people could walk on it even again, I think would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So just, you know, I don't know if that center section can be cut, or, you know, any of that can be repurposed or not, but.
I haven't been in there in a while.
I would gladly purchase some of that if we could. So, just a thought as you get in discussions on what, you know, what's gonna happen with it. So, yeah.
Obviously, there's a decision to be made where it comes time, where there's funding to demolition. You know, there's a lot of feedback on people saying that they wanted some type of monument built. Think this something to that
I
nature.
think something built at the park with the bell would be really neat.
Yeah, that was,
All those are options, but obviously, once that's done, I think anything that's salvageable was definitely going to be on the table. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or repurposed or anything of that nature. Right.
Like Donna Garish, there's a door in there that her dad carved his name in, like back in.
You have that type of stuff.
1930 something.
Even some of the bricks and stuff like that, you know, whatever, for some of the people I've heard was mentioned as well, but obviously, as that progresses, I think anything that can be resalvaged or repurposed, once that goes, then.
yeah, because I hate waste.
The backboard.
And I like to see if things have to be destroyed, save something from it. Salvage something, repurpose it, use it for something else. Something good. I do like the idea of saving the bell, use that as a.
Yeah, that'd be something.
Yeah.
The bell, the backboards, and the scoreboard are all salvageable from there still. They just need a place to go. The bell's going to be a little bit of a
Yeah,
job.
the bell's going to require a crane.
Right.
That's a big one.
Yeah. So.
Some of the limestone would be nice to save too.
Yeah. But again, you know, if there's funding in place, they'll clean up the mess. Then, you know, it can be okay. Well, this stuff is going to end up in a landfill instead. So therefore,
Yeah.
there you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other new business?
Down there on Craig Street in front of my house where the holes have returned. I kind of like the holes because they're slowing the dirt bikes and four-wheelers and everything else down. But if you ever put new rock down, try to get something with less lime because that stuff just washes out whenever the water company flushes the hydrant down there.
Yeah. Probably not a whole lot of choices as far as what kind of rock is available, especially around here. And it's not like we're going to fill it with pea gravel because that'll just end up in your yard.
You know, something like probably something about golf ball size would probably work pretty good. I don't know if it's number 54s or I can't remember the grading for rock, but.
Usually 53 is line and stuff that's like concrete.
Yeah. I'll check. I'll check because I got a guy that can bring in some stone. So, because our pile of stone is gone. That used to be over at the. Plus, we don't really have a lot of. We don't have a lot of options. Anybody else? Would you like to contribute anything? Sure.
No, I was just here for any questions. I heard there was some law enforcement questions last meeting, so I want to make sure I was here for this one.
I think there's some confusion on, the board was approached on the differences between what might be an ordinance and what would be a law enforcement way to enforce and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? So
Right.
it sounded like some of the complaints that was levied towards the board really should have been probably contacted your department in
Right.
that aspect or whatever and stuff, so.
Yeah.
You guys took care of a couple of them, I think.
What'd you say?
You took care of a couple of them.
Yeah.
About a couple of them.
I know, one more thing. Michael Graves' dogs have been an issue. We have taken 2 of them, and he surrendered those to other people, so he has 3 left, and we're gonna address that problem as well. He says someone's feeding them, supposedly someone's feeding them, so we need to have it evaluated. If we think they're in danger, then we'll take those as well.
There was an issue, somebody had brought up that the dogs are like being staked off of his property. Is that an issue that you could resolve? So what was he saying? Basically that they were putting the dogs off of his property so that they could get to people that were trying to go down the road. Is that
railroad
The
property.
tracks.
yeah, does that sound?
Yeah, if it's off his property, that's allowing the dog to stray, so that's like a $200 ticket,
It's not
which
his
we've written.
property, though. It's American Water's property, which American Water now knows and gave them time to vacate.
Oh, so they've taken, okay, so
American Water has gotten, like, grew up and helped out on that, got a hold of, found out that it was American Water, and then I also know of the person who was trying to help home those dogs, and then he backed out
Yeah.
on it.
But if they're in danger, we can take them, and we will take them.
She said they're not being fed, 2 of them were locked in the house, rat infested,
Yeah.
and the bomb is definitely
Yeah.
emaciated.
My understanding is the state vet's coming down Wednesday, I believe, to look at them. They have to evaluate the dog, and if they're in danger, we'll just take them.
They have a much better life with someone else.
And also the property line issue that was reported to the railroad police. I don't know if that brought up last meeting. And as far as I know, I talked to the officer himself, and the trailer's not on their property.
That's what he said, it wasn't railroad, it ended up being American Water.
Okay,
so the trailer also, not only were the dogs not on the property, but the trailer
That whole
was not.
property, American Water owns that property right there,
Wow.
is what he told me.
but
Wow.
I issued a 0 tolerance on his dogs. If they get loose, he gets a ticket, but she's in our jail, so Tasha was getting the tickets, and now she's moved out, I guess. So,
I don't know who's down there now.
what's that?
I don't know who's down there now.
We're running out of people to cite for it, but
Is there anybody?
There's people. I don't know who they are.
in the trailer.
There's cars coming and going.
Maybe just action, maybe not living.
But we're working on the dog issue, so it'll get resolved this week.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Does that conclude?
It's very anxious. Yes.
We've all had one.
There was an accident on top of the hill this morning. Everybody okay in that accident?
Yes, yeah, you're good.
I had to back all the way down the hill this morning.
So there wasn't 2 accidents?
No, no. What?
Yeah, he rode, he said strapped to his car, like.
Oh, thank you.
I
I gotta do better about your flag.
That process is so low.
I have to do pink, purple, and green.
It's providing that.
Yeah.
Hit that thing.
Yeah, I was in I was in Omaha.
Roll on the floor.
He said, well,
I
Motion second, closed. Thank you everybody for being here.